I got nothing to say, yeah, I'm just loving the way you're looking over here. Come over here and tell me your name. I can tell by the sound, yeah, when you open your mouth. I hear my new favorite melody, hey. We should both run away. Why do we ever stay in the first place? I can't shake the feeling when you face away from me, babe. I will wait a lifetime if you say you stay with me, babe. I can't shake the feeling when you face away from me, babe. I will wait a lifetime if you say you stay with me, babe.
Fuck Paw Patrol. Honestly, not even worried. Episode 33.
33.
Yeah.
I think that's where it's at.
Welcome back to the best fucking podcast in the world. I'm your host, Nilo G, and I'm here with Blake Boots.
I'm bowing.
No, sir. No,
Coming
sir.
at you live from our living room. Am I having coffee at 8 p.m.? Yes.
Is it have a little bit of whiskey in there?
A little bit of... No.
Okay.
Do I have any whiskey? No. Is there whiskey here? Yes. Did I put any in there? No.
Yeah.
So
It probably would taste like shit, honestly.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it would.
Bailey's would be really good in there, though.
Oh my God, dude.
Bailey's is where it's at. That should be your sweet treat. I don't know if that's
Seriously.
terrible or not, but
I don't think so. I think that's because every Christmas the past 2 Christmases that we haven't been able to go home, we make hot chocolate and we put this nice Bailey's in it. It's like a nice liqueur.
Is it Bailey's?
No, it's
A step above Bailey's?
yeah, it's more artisanal.
Yeah. Straight from the Irish teat.
Right, exactly. From the
Yes.
Irish teat, same concept,
Mm-hmm.
different manufacturer, and it's so good that I put it in my coffee. For weeks after that until it's gone. Probably
Dude,
less than weeks. It's probably just week or 2 weeks. And then it makes me go like, I should put a little Bailey's in my coffee every morning. But that's how alcoholism
That's a
starts.
slippery slope, I think, dude.
But it's nice, you know?
Yeah.
Especially because you just wake up and you're also get that warmth of drinking. Makes sense to me, man. The Irish are onto something. The long-term effects have done a number on their population, but
Sure, I imagine it's 2 conflicting feelings, though, that would cancel each other out eventually.
what?
You know,
Oh, yes.
you get the caffeination and you get the alcohol,
Yeah.
which in the past they would, when the police officers would pick you up,
Yeah.
or you had to sober up quickly,
Yeah.
you would drink a cup of coffee and magically 30 minutes later you're sober, but it's more of a time thing.
It's
But
the yin and yang.
yeah,
It's the people who take the Adderall before they hit the bong.
you like that little sliver in between the yin and yang, that little white spot
Yeah.
that's in there.
Just
Between the galaxies.
Is it white? It's a vastness. It's an empty line. You know what I'm talking about?
Are you sure?
The yin and yang are slammed together.
There's no empty line. Oh, is there?
Well, some sort of neutrality has to combine the yin and the yang. Isn't it true?
It's just an infinitesimally small.
You may not see the line. There's a line.
There's always a line.
However, there's a line there.
Galaxies sometimes blow themselves
I guess that
up.
makes sense.
In my mind, there's a line, but I doubt there's a line. I've never crossed that line, so I'm not sure.
What color would the line be? That's my question.
It knows no color.
Okay.
It seeks no bound.
Then that sounds dope as shit, and that's definitely where I want to be hanging out, is
Mhm.
on that line. Yeah, it's like people who take the Addy for the bong rip, or drink caffeinated alcohol at night.
Caffeinated alcohol. Yeah. Oh, that would be good. That was the only alcohol I've ever seen my grandma drink. God rest her soul. Was her sister was in town and she poured her something. She was like, "Can I have a little try of that?" And
your grandma did that to me too, and it felt like I was opening up her world.
Oh yeah.
But it was hummus.
Oh yeah.
She was like, I'll try some. I was like, oh,
I was shocked.
wow.
Yeah, that
I've got that charm.
Yeah, I'm glad you got her to try it. And we would go to this. She was like, "This is my favorite Asian restaurant. It's so good." And she would just get like a chicken. It was just like cooked like a regular. It wasn't like Asian Like there were
was
no
just
Asian. It
rotisserie
was just like a
chicken?
rotisserie chicken, and she would always say,
Hey,
"This
they
is
cook it.
this is my favorite chicken."
I
And
mean,
hey,
she knows who cooks meat the best.
Strategic advantage.
Sure, yeah,
Unlike some other people, but I won't say
but
that.
you know,
Yeah, man. You know what that makes me think of?
it's that.
Speaking of combining products, there's CBD everything, weed everything. They are doing too much with beer now because, when we came up in the scene, you had your PBRs and you had your Bush Lights. That like Bush was big when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Was it big for you in high school?
I think Bud Light was bigger for us.
Wow.
We like Bud Light and
A little more
PBR
southern, maybe.
more. Yeah.
Keystone.
Keystone
was like
I could never get into those.
I feel like I like low key. I mean, the high school that I was at wasn't very hip. It was pretty normal, normie core. There was
Yeah.
a lot of us hipsters, but yeah, we'd be drinking in garages, popping Keystones and Natty Ices and Bush Lights and just that whole Ice Mountain genre of beer.
Well, let me just say,
Coors for sure.
you take what you can get. That was and we always got that. But if there was, if the only option was
Keystone.
Keystone, which is absolute dog shit, I would do that.
It's dog shit, but I got so drunk off of it. I can feel the feeling of drinking beer the first few times in people's garages.
Yeah.
And just the taste of it being so new and the buzz.
Oh man.
And being like, I can drive home.
Yeah. I was always so paranoid. There was that DUI, not DUI. There was that class you had to take before we had to do 3 like 2-hour-long classes. I think they were longer, like driver's ed classes in the actual classroom.
Was it a video of somebody getting extremely hurt?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That girl that got really badly burned.
That's right. Yes.
And I just remember seeing that, and that worked well for me.
Wow.
I mean, Jesus, that video was unreal.
That's how you do it. You should scare people into doing.
I've
it works.
never like driven with any sort of buzz. Honestly, I get too, and I'm also very terrified of getting arrested. Because it's just such a waste of money, dude. It's like $10K.
Man,
$10K automatically down the drain.
Yeah. Well, nowadays I wouldn't dare. It's like so not worth it.
Yeah.
You can call a car, but in high school you didn't know any better. I was a little shithead. And you're just looking for those cheap thrills.
Yeah.
I never drove like smashed, but I definitely came home a little tipsy for sure.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was at a friend's house and it was time to go. I think parents were getting home or something. And they were having a party and I was like, I'm out of here. I'm not trying to. I could tell like her parents were going to get mad and I wasn't trying to be there for the whole thing. I was like, I'm my own person. I can just go. They're not going to make me stay here. So I just like got in my car and I think her mom like came up to my driver side window and said something about like how I smelled like alcohol.
Oh man.
And I was like, it's mouthwash. And then I just skirted out.
Jesus.
And I left.
Man, if that was my mom, she'd be like, he's not coming over anymore.
I mean,
and you didn't go over there.
I didn't. She wasn't my friend.
Yeah,
she was a mutual. But
no, that's one way to get out, dude.
Yeah, man, the beer. But anyway, and then we hit college and craft beers are starting to come into the realm. People are drinking IPAs. 'Cause don't you feel like that kind of that wasn't a thing until we were in college, really? Like way more craft breweries, microbreweries, things were cropping up then.
Yeah. I mean, your taste buds get a little more refined. And you try
I'm willing to bet like the industry also blew up at that time.
Oh, you don't think it was as big? Well, there probably weren't as many independent brewers at that point in time. And now they're all over. Yeah. If we were to look at a map of Nashville in that time period, how many of like actual brewers would there be?
Exactly. And like I would say Nashville still has relatively few compared to other cities, major cities, There's a few key ones we all know the names of.
Yeah, I'm counting like 7 in my head right now.
Yeah.
But
like
Chicago probably has so
New
many.
York, like every corner is like, oh, this is a micro pub or whatever.
Yes.
So that started coming on the scene, and I diddled around with that for a little bit. Diddled's a bad word to use for that, but
I
played around.
I thought it. Yeah.
I dabbled is what I meant.
Dabbled around with those.
I dabbled with alternative beers, and then how you just try on different personalities, and you're like, maybe I'm a beer guy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the guy who knows the difference between amber ale and lager and Pilsner at this early age.
Yeah.
And finances really weren't permitting for that kind of behavior, so I just stuck with the cheap beer.
Yeah.
And I still have that kind of same mentality to this day, unless I actually people joke about IPAs as being like tasting gross, or like being like fucking IPA is like the joke kind of beer you make when you're trying to make a joke about people who are beer people.
Uh-huh.
But that's the only kind of non-cheap beer I'll drink, really, because it just kicks. It just like,
it really does kick you like a mule, for sure.
It's like the wasabi. It's like umami. It's like the wasabi of beer. You're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah. I only need 2 or 3 of these, and I'm pretty toasted, which is pretty wild.
And I just feel like now they're getting carried away, man. Like, I saw Warhead's beer at the liquor store.
The sour candy that used to fizzle in the mouth?
Uh-huh. A 6-pack of Warhead's beer. And it's just like, talk about me, kind of being tempted to put Irish liqueur, Irish cream in my coffee every morning, and like tying those two things together. If you like alcohol so much and candy so much that combination makes you go, yeah, I want that. That's a real problem.
Yeah, that's...
Candy, Warheads is so different than beer. And if you're craving them both, have them separately.
Wait, though.
Why together?
I just thought of something.
What?
What if it's like a bad version of a sour? You know what I mean? How they have sour beers?
Well, I don't really like sours.
Okay. I like sours. I can't imagine it's good, but I wonder if that's what they're going for.
It might be what they're going for.
We're a sours company.
It might be what they're going for.
It's not going to be good.
But judging by the packaging, they definitely bury the lead on that.
Is it just like it's
just the Warhead
the
guy.
face with the blown head.
Yeah, it's like Warhead's beer. And
we're trying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if you know what sours are and you like sours, you're not going to get the Warhead sours,
Do you think that's trying to appeal to 21-year-olds? Do you think that
the Four Loko crowd, like the
young
kind of buzz bomb, kind of, this is a unique.
Oh,
yeah, definitely. It's when you see like, there's like donut beer, like everything beer, and just the fact that it's something plus beer, you go, oh, I'll try it. It's crazy, it's wacky.
Why we gotta fuck with the recipe? It's already good.
So,
you don't need to mess with something that's good, unless you think you're gonna strike gold. And but I feel like maybe that's when you need to invent a different product.
Exactly.
A product that doesn't exist.
Maybe I'm just old school in my ways, but
Well, that's something that I've been thinking about a lot of lately. And I always I'm wondering now, am I just not able?
Out of touch.
Do I not want to try new things like that?
Yeah.
Am I set in my ways? That's why I try to get. So I have a very peculiar taste now.
Yeah.
With certain things, and with coffee, for instance, I'm a snob.
You talking literal taste?
I'm talking literal taste. I'm trying to every once in a while have a really shitty coffee because I don't want to be too spoiled.
Was so bad.
It was bad.
It was
not
really
good.
bad. And we're not even trying to be snobs. I feel like it's kind of known that Starbucks is bad now, right?
I don't know. I think a lot of older people think it's good for some reason.
I mean, a lot of people, I understand if you're in a big city and Starbucks is everywhere and you work a lot and you got to go and you get Starbucks on the way to work. But here in our lifestyle, there's not that many Starbucks around anyway.
No.
And we're actually closer to way more in other coffee shops than we are to a Starbucks.
Yeah, we passed Barista Parlor to go to.
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Exactly. We're going
Crema's probably closer than that Starbucks.
Yeah, we're going there because it was on the way from somewhere else, or we're trying to snag that price differential.
Yeah.
Or we're trying to drive through. We don't want to go inside. But was alarming. Like I
Have you had that before? It's the nitro brew.
yeah, and it's fine,
Yeah.
but I was already expecting it to be not that good. And then I took a sip and I was like, "Oh wow.
this is ripe.
Sucks."
Yeah.
Like it was like watery.
Well,
was
the fact that there's no ice in it is weird to me.
right. Well, because it's cold brew. They don't need to ice it. It's been in the fridge. So you get more coffee. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess, but it's unnatural to me. I always just assume it would be over ice, but
Yeah.
that does make sense. And
Well, it would stay colder that way, but you'd get less coffee.
that's true. So that's probably why I did get pretty jazzed off it for a while.
I got so jazzed.
yeah,
I stayed
it
up too
does.
late.
It
Was that
does.
yesterday?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
yesterday.
I stayed up too late.
Yeah, I had some
I'm tired
real
as fuck right now.
scary ass dreams. Yeah, see,
And I'm drinking the homebrew.
Yeah, let's see how that goes
Seattle's
for you
best,
tomorrow. But you got to treat yourself to some bad coffee every once in a while
Because you'll be out of touch. You'll be set in your ways.
that's my water bucket challenge.
That's to have a
That's
bad.
my water plunge.
You're yeah.
Is I occasionally have a bad coffee.
And it sends you. You're like, whoa, this is the real life,
This
real
is
world.
Right. This is a workman's coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it with you? I was talking about the other day where like if I just feel like I can't focus or I can't like snap out of like a haze, I'll just go outside in the cold.
Uh-huh.
Just like no
Stand
jacket,
there?
I'll just kind of stand and just like look around.
Dude,
That works.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I will gradually do that at the shower where I'll slowly turn the knob cold.
Yeah.
And it really does help you just kind of like shake it off and get out of there quicker, which is
Exactly.
really nice. But
So conscious. I'm way more conscious now of like when I need to use one of like the mental reset buttons. You know, being outside is one of them.
yeah, going on a walk, even I read an article, even 10 minutes, even a 10-minute walk will help reset your brain.
Even a 5-minute meditation does a lot.
Yeah. I need to get the amount of times I've said I need to get back into meditating on this podcast is exponential.
I'm telling you, dude, Headspace, like it, even though it's the same fucking meditation over and over pretty much with like a different message at the beginning, just the repetition. Because I mean, I've realized that like my life is better when I meditate, even if I'm not doing it well.
Yeah.
And so I got Headspace Pro, and we both have Bluetooth headphones that we rock during most of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so all you do is you just open up your phone, open up Headspace Pro. It presents it to you like, here's your morning meditation. And you can choose 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes as a button.
That's great.
Yeah.
I got that Waking Up app I need to use more of because that one's really nice. Has good conversations on there too.
Yeah.
But
We always like slip into a little self-help.
Yeah.
I was just about to bring up that book, Atomic Habits.
oh yeah,
that you read. It's so good. It's like the best book ever.
do you have a physical copy or are you reading?
No, audiobook.
Dude, I love it. There's so many. I need to read it again because
Do you
I
have
forgot.
physical coffee? Coffee. Oh my god.
This fucking guy.
Jesus.
Warhead coffee.
What is this? Coffee beer?
Yeah. Getting forgetful. I do not. I got it on. I downloaded. I got an electronic copy. Hannah has a hard copy, and I need to like.
Did you steal a
go
PDF?
back through it? I did steal a PDF.
I love that shit. I love doing that.
Yeah.
Because you can open it up in Finder
Yeah.
and you can highlight it.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And I like to think that since I told Hannah about it and she bought a hard copy, that I did a word of mouth and I
That's sick.
I bought the book that
It's
way.
like you both bought half a book.
It's like we both got the book that way.
That's nice, man. It's so awesome when you like tell people about shit and then they try it out.
Yeah.
Because half the time you're like, I swear this song is fucking dope as shit, and they're like, yeah, all right, I'll listen to it sometime. I do that to you a lot, I'm sure, but
Yeah, well, we both do it to each other, and we just have to hit each other at the right moment. You've been telling me the new Euphoria is really sick. I've been telling you Righteous Gemstones is really sick.
exactly.
You
were telling me Succession for sure for a while.
Oh yeah, but
Right.
I was late. I was even late to Succession.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I think like we said the other day, there's just too much to continue on with movie wise. I don't want to get too much into movies again and TV because
Oh yeah,
people know we're super addicted to all that
we
shit.
talked about that. We finished Silent Sea. It was good.
Yeah, that was a pretty good ending.
Yeah.
Couple loose ends.
Couple loose ends. I wouldn't say it was like awesome. I mean,
it was good, great.
Yeah.
I thought it was good, great.
I mean, it's like almost obvious to say, but they do. Korean film is definitely hitting on something different. Like They know how to like wrench out the emotions, I feel like.
Yeah.
Towards the end, always.
Last thing I'll say about film and TV is when you're watching a foreign thing, it's almost just like a whole different film protocol in a way.
Yes.
Which makes it a really refreshing thing to watch.
Yes.
So I feel like a specifically English movie is going to have such a kind of predictable thing, but
which is like enjoyable in the same way that, you know, listening to a pop song is enjoyable.
Yeah.
But you want that palate cleanser.
But yeah, you get something where you're like, whoa, they took the story that way. Like that's not at all how the American version would have taken that story. And I fucking love it for that reason.
True. What's the difference there? You think, I feel like it's definitely more, there's always some vengeance play. I mean, I don't watch enough movies to know, but there's definitely a more familial, emotional, where I feel like American shit is just like, I don't know,
less dark,
go hard and fucking die hard.
I think they sometimes it's a little more real and a little more dark in abroad.
Yes.
And in America, it's like, we got to wrap this up nicely sometimes, at least with a lot of like Hollywood mainstream movies that aren't, you know, dark dramas.
Yeah.
I think
that's true.
And it's just a particular feeling you get when you're watching them too, because you have to work a little harder because you're actually fully involved, because you got to maybe read subtitles or kind of.
I'm sure we've talked about this on the pod too, but you've seen Battle Royale, the old Japanese movie. It was like the original Squid Game.
Not really. I know of it though.
You know, another fucking old man thing. I remember like watching it in high school, because I was into anime in middle school, and then I had a friend who was into some stuff in high school, and he was like, "We got to watch this movie." Which it's live action, it's not anime, but it's called Battle Royale, and it's like 100 students get locked in to their school, and they have to duke it out until one person is left.
Yeah. It's 100 contestants technically. Yeah. Okay.
And then Squid Game came, and it's the same thing, right? It's 100 contestants.
Yeah. I think it was more. I think it was like,
oh yeah, you're right,
400.
True, because a bunch of them died off really quickly. But I had that old man thing where I was like, we already had one of these back in the day.
Yeah.
But then it's like, that stuff. The Platform. Remember The Platform?
Yeah.
Parasite. Okja was really good. Snowpiercer.
These are all foreign movies that are just
super dark.
Another Round was really good. That was like Norwegian though, or Danish. That's that one with Mads Mikkelsen. You should watch.
Oh shit!
Yeah, where people just drink.
Ooh,
yeah.
I would love to see that.
Great concept.
All right, let's stop talking about movies.
I
don't know shit about movies, and people are gonna be like,
I do have a question. Do you feel as you get older, are there any particular hobbies that you probably imagine yourself picking up?
Man. Yeah, I think so. I think of hobbies. I'm so manic when I think about stuff that I don't know. I mean, just different realms of the same thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I like eventually I'm like, I think it would be cool to do more stuff, not movies per se, but I think about how I've done music for so long, and now it's like turning in, like adding podcasting into it, which adds a more of a narrative element, and longer format. And I have played around here and there with video stuff, and you know, now I also do more like non more administrative role stuff sometimes too, where I'm a supervising producer or something like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I was really young and somebody had introduced me to the concept of being a director,
yeah,
I would have loved it.
Yeah.
I would have gone apeshit, because it's like you can have a zillion different interests and not necessarily master one of them.
Yeah.
Except you just master directing, you know?
And producing has got
Producing,
an
exactly.
element of directing in there as well.
Yeah.
But I think the misconception I have with directing is thinking you have to direct just movies, you know?
Yeah.
And we've talked about this maybe in the past where it's like, yeah, if you're a movie director, you'll maybe do tops 10 movies in your whole life.
Right. I think about that too. Like,
but you could do TV. You could do
TV.
episodes of TV that are like really fast. You could do comedy episodes of TV. You could do podcasting. You could do all that shit.
Yeah. I think about like, if I were to just start something now, just in little bits.
Yeah.
In 10 years, when I'm fucking tired of the career that I have now, what will that lead to? Where I'm like, oh, well, I've had this other thing in my back pocket, you know?
Yeah.
And I think about that with writing and TV and movies and stuff. I bet one day I could do something in that
Totally,
realm.
dude. And we have enough friends in that realm that everybody could be involved and help you find a way to
make it
finance, do whatever, any of that shit, which is really cool.
Yeah. But I oscillate between the two. I oscillate between being somebody who wants to control every piece of a product.
Yeah.
And then being the guy who just like shows up and it's not even my microphone. And I just sit there and talk about my ideas. Like, you know, I romanticize both things.
Yeah.
One is very introverted and one is very just extroverted, I guess.
Yeah, it's hard to take control of something and not be like Paul McCartney in the Beatles documentary. It's hard to be like the one who's touching all the parts and like being a part of it without seeming like you're there's a way to do it, but it's a very delicate process of being like, I'm being kind of control freak right now.
Yes.
And I'm being like, I'm being how I should be. I feel like I'm guilty of that sometimes.
Yeah. I'm definitely learning how to do it way better these days.
Same.
And it's just, for me, it's a lot of just knowing what you want ahead of time.
Yeah, 100%.
And you know, even if it means like a change, you just like, you know what you want it to be and how to navigate that. But yeah, it's like there's that. And then I've always romanticized when I was young, I just wanted to like go get coffee and like go to a movie and eat food, and that's my day. You know? And so I romanticize the stand-up life because you don't need anything.
Yeah.
You don't need any gear. You just go, you just hang. You just, not hang, I mean, you work, but you don't have $7 million of fucking cables and shit everywhere. You know?
There's something really nice about that, like having a day like that is so nice.
Yeah.
Just I think I've grown to really enjoy a day like that more than I would have in the past. You know what I mean?
A day like where you just get coffee?
Yeah, a day where you get coffee, go to a movie. Like, I feel like at some point in my, like in recent years, it'd be really hard for me to do that because I'd be like, I'm wasting time.
Oh, yeah.
But now I'm trying to take an approach as like, well, you have to enjoy the moment and you have to take these breaks and to do things like this. And it's just good for your soul to do little breaks like that. You've only got 4,000 weeks on Earth, pretty much on average.
Yeah, we've only got like 50 or 49 weeks left in our life.
Probably already done 1,000.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's crazy. Probably more than that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
I know there's only a couple hundred days left till my 31st birthday, you know? And I thought of doing a lot of shit before I became 30.
Well, you have done a lot of shit though before you.
That's true.
Before you turn 31 and before you turn 30. So
yeah,
probably not as much as you impossibly imagined.
Exactly.
Like we all are guilty of doing.
Yeah. In terms of output of effort, I definitely have.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. That's what matters, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We both have. We all have. It's good to see. It's good to see shit come together.
Yeah, it really is.
But other hobbies when I'm older, I imagine, you know, getting back into drawing and art, visual art. Just escapism from all this in all sensory ways.
Yes.
Sight, hearing, vision, which is the same as sight. I don't know if you guys know that.
Sight, hearing,
Smelling,
vision.
What's a smellcraft? What's like an art form that you do that's like
wine.
Wine, but that's also tasting.
But there's a big portion of smelling in it involved in that.
That's true.
Where you have to know scents. Perfuming, you could make perfumes. Candles.
Candles. Now that's pure scentage.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfumes
That's
are a little
crazy.
sexual as well. There's a cum element to that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
It's a little cummy.
Yeah, it's definitely divine feminine, divine masculine.
Mac Miller, Ariana Grande kind of feeling.
Yeah, for sure. But that's the last bastion for me. If I start to get into some smellcraft, I've probably exhausted all other craft.
Yeah.
I think I've never had a great nose, really. I've always had allergies and asthma. And I could smell, but
You're probably operating at a lower smell rate.
I'm operating at a lower smell rate.
You think you're operating at a 71% smell capacity?
Maybe higher than that. 72.
72, 73% smell capacity.
Yeah, smell cap.
Yeah.
It's a low smell cap, but how about you?
It's a blessing and a curse
to
have a low smell cap.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, what must these farts smell like for everybody else?
Sometimes you smell a stoink that I didn't think you'd be able to smell, and and it surprises me. I almost wonder if farts are considered in a smellcraft, smellcraft.
I actually, well, that too, but also I think my sense of smell has gotten better. So there's that too.
You can train it.
Yeah. You can clear it out,
Yeah.
It's like people develop adult asthma. It goes the other way too. People
Get
lose
rid of their
childhood asthma.
Well, Teddy Roosevelt overcame his asthma as a child with, or so he says, with like physical activity.
Wow.
Dude was a fucking wild man.
He was like fucking Rasputin or some shit.
Yeah. He was the English Rasputin. As far as my hobbies go, I'll probably get into bird watching at some point.
Wow. Why that?
There's some bird calls that are just unreal to me.
That's true.
There was some melody a bird was doing the other day and I'd never heard it. And it was like really pretty and I wish I remembered it, but it caught me by surprise. It was like, doo, 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 boop. It was like something like,
wow,
really like different and really melodic. And I was like, damn, I could steal that melody.
You see a guy walk by, it's just his cell phone.
Yeah. God damn it, iPhone. Yeah, I like that, and I think there are a lot of really pretty birds. I saw a chickadee recently.
Wow,
it's like a white and black bird, and it's super super pretty and cute and tiny. And I like birds. And aside from that, I was thinking about getting into pottery.
Birds go hard. Before we move on to the pottery,
yeah, birds do go hard.
Birds go fucking hard, man. We saw one outside of Ugly Mugs. That for sure must have been somebody's pet that flew away. It was like a bright green, tropical ass little bird.
Dude, you got to get this Merlin bird app.
Yeah.
Because it's like Shazam for birds.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
I took the shittiest picture of this chickadee.
And it was like chickadee.
Yeah. And it knew it was a chickadee. And you could have done that for that beautiful, vibrant bird.
It was a tennis ball colored bird. It was not unlike
like parody kind of? Or like a
parrot color. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
But it was small.
Huh.
Parakeet.
Parakeet. Maybe it was a parakeet.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. Something I always was like, who the fuck wants to go watch birds? I get it now. I can understand it, especially with technology and shit. It's like nice to have hobbies that aren't super ingrained in the current forms of technology.
So true.
As I name a bird app that helps me identify birds. So I need a book. I need a book of birds and binoculars.
I like that because you don't have to do anything in terms of like, people get really into gardening, which sounds nice, but then you have to garden. And I don't think I would like that process.
On the same front of bird watching, I imagine aliens coming down and being like Asian American.
Yeah.
Caucasian. Indian. Native American.
Australian.
Yeah, just trying.
The continent, not the country.
Yeah. We're just viewing. Yeah, gardening, I do not have a green thumb. I'm working on it. But
Yeah.
I would like to do pottery. I'm just trying to do all the hobbies that I bet
Yeah.
pottery is so fucking hard.
Yeah.
And I really want to try it because I imagine that's one of those things that in my head I've always imagined as being what you just got the wheel going and you give it a little spin and you get a little carve out and you're good to go. I bet it is a million times harder than that.
Oh yeah, shit's flying everywhere.
Yeah,
You ever see
like you
people
have to
use those-
control.
that thing where it's like a spinning, like spit, like a wood on a fucking spinner, and you like chisel it to make like the bevels and shit.
Yeah. Dude, woodworking.
crazy.
Yeah, all those things
Like,
are
yeah,
incredible skills that
like for sure, if I were to do that, the tool would just fly out of my hand immediately, you know,
yeah,
and like my wrist would fucking.
Are you controlling the rate at which it's turning with your foot? With the thing is spinning, or are you just controlling the rate at which you're carving it?
I think there might be. You're just controlling the carving,
Okay.
but even then, that's almost scarier.
Yeah, that is a little bit.
Huh?
Yeah, because you could be like,
Yeah. And the fucking chisel goes in your eye.
You gotta wear protective glasses for that. But I'm just trying to get. I just want to get into these hobbies where I don't need electricity to use them. Maybe small amount of electricity for like spinning the wheel and stuff. But because when the electric grid eventually goes out due to global warming, I want to be able to have some things that I can still do for fun.
Yes,
You know?
for sure.
That's why I don't read as much as I used to, because I just want to have a lot of books that I can read when we don't have electricity to play video games or movies anymore.
That's a good point.
So I can have books that I haven't read to read.
Okay, that's why you don't read.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
That's why
I'm saving those for later.
That's why I spend a lot of time watching film.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
because
Oh, yeah.
one day I won't be able to.
Dude, that's a good point. I have this same theory involving foods.
Okay.
Okay, there's a few different categories of mouth feels of oral sensations,
Mm-hmm.
and ways to consume food, ways to process it. I would call them almost food processing methods of the human body.
Mm.
You know, you have
Ingesting?
yeah, but breaking down, processing.
Mm.
You know, you have mush foods, like foods that you don't need teeth.
Oatmeal.
Yeah, oatmeal, but even more like applesauce.
Okay, yeah.
Yogurt, soup. Yeah, I mean,
Pudding.
really
Not bread pudding.
fluffy.
As
mashed
we learned in the
potatoes.
last
Not
episode,
bread
you do
pudding.
need to
You
chew.
need some teeth for that.
Yeah.
Things that you can eat as a baby, as a
Mm.
child with no teeth.
I like the way he said, as a baby.
As a baby, or as a child with no teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start to get these teeth, and then you can do some crunching. You can crunch. You get into like more crunchier foods, and then you know as you get older,
Berry territory.
Exactly.
Berry terry.
Yeah. Almost like smushy.
Mm-hmm.
Even before the mushy, you can only just do liquids. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you can't even really mash. You can't even mash things.
No.
You can just suck the teat, like, you know. And then you get these chompers. You get those for a number of years, but then at the end of life, it reverts back. You lose the ability to chomp.
Yeah.
You go back to mostly being able to mush, and then eventually barely being able to drink.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, there's this finite period of time where I've got these fucking fangs, bro.
These teeth.
And so I'm tearing up steak like nobody's business. 'cause,
Yeah.
You know, these are the prime flesh tearing years of my life.
These are the prime ribeye
These are the
years.
prime rib years.
These are the
dude.
prime ribeye years, bro.
Yeah.
That's a good point. You know,
Mhm.
you got to think about that.
Yeah.
I will say though, when you get older, you can get those fake ass teeth. My grandma
Yeah.
had some crazy
I know.
dentures that I did not realize were fake teeth for the longest time.
But science hasn't confirmed it yet, but I'm willing to bet that at least 0.5% of taste comes from the teeth.
Oh my god!
Like, don't you feel like shit would taste different because you don't have real teeth in?
Well, chewing informs the taste in a way for me. When I chew,
The feel is different.
the texture adds to the taste. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
texture of the chewing.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. It's a trippy thought.
And so when you're biting with fake teeth, it's like it'd be like eating with a retainer on.
It'd be like eating with a condom on.
Exactly what I was gonna say.
yeah. I think
You know I was
could
gonna
tell.
say
Yeah.
that.
It's waiting for it.
But there's definitely some non-parallels there
Yeah.
where you're still it's still raw on a lot of the parts of the mouth. It'd be like wearing a condom like just on the tip or something.
It's like having a night guard on.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like having a little cap for the tip of your dick. And you're like, this definitely is sex, but like something's different.
Something's
Yeah.
wrong here.
Something's off.
Something ain't it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The same kind of concept with being old that
Yeah.
I thought about today.
Yeah.
I don't want to throw you off the tooth conversation,
No.
but
That's all I had.
you overheard me. I was talking about the pictures that feel like you're having a stroke.
Yeah.
That you look at, where
Oh,
your
yeah.
brain just recognizes the objects but can't
Mhm.
identify them, and it like really hurts your brain.
Yeah.
I realized what that thought is similar to,
What?
and it's similar to when I was younger and still now when I try to like come up with the concept of eternity. It is a similar feeling with my brain, where when I was a kid and I used to think about dying and going to heaven,
Yeah.
and when people were like, "You're in heaven for eternity," and it was like, I would always just be like, eternity. So
It's such an uncomfortable thing to think about.
like I'm thinking of it right now, and it, like you just feel it right here. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is that
doesn't
feeling?
make sense.
Billions
No.
of suns all bound
can't-
together.
That's like there's numbers that are so big you can't wrap your head around them.
Yeah.
And I've got a big fucking head. And if I can't wrap my head around it, that's no joke.
Your head is bigger than
Most concepts.
yeah. It just we just turn into a burn. It's like a roast. Your head's bigger than your large intestines.
You could wrap your head around the moon
Oh.
6 times.
Oh, your mama could rap.
The normal head goes around 3. Yeah, dude. Like, why did it sound like I had auto-tune on my voice? It was like,
Yeah, there was I think it was 2 podcasts ago. It sounded like you just left the auto tune on your voice throughout the podcast.
I think I did.
you did.
I think I did.
I almost said something, but I was like, it doesn't quite sound like it.
I did.
but-
It's only certain times I'll
Yeah.
be like, ooh.
Yeah,
and it'll
yeah.
be like, ooh. Yeah. There's
What's
like a part
going
in the
on?
beginning where I had automated it to be on. And then I think it just didn't. I think it stayed on.
It's really funny. It's classic, dude. Classic sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, eternity's a long time, and the feeling of having a stroke is probably super odd to just see when stuff looks like that.
Yeah. Trippy.
I got to show you. Yeah. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. It's like when you're tripping, you're just like, what is that? Like, it's kind of, it won't stop changing.
Yeah.
And it's not quite anything, but it's trying so hard to be something.
Such a
And
strange,
it's so close to being something.
such a cool sentence. Such a strange sentence. I had a very trippy, awful dream last night where I know people love when people talk about their dreams.
Yeah.
Where I was trying to like take off my pants and my shirt and stuff, and every time I would like pull my pants down when I came back up to like take off my shirt, my pants were back up.
Oh my God.
And I would like
dude.
take off my shirt and like
Wow.
go down to take, and I would be wearing the shirt again, take my pants off. It was so
Oh
frustrating.
no.
It was really annoying.
Perpetual clothing.
It was like I've never had a clothing induced panic attack. but
Involuntarily never nude.
involuntarily never nude.
Wow.
Yeah. Great episode title.
Yeah,
right
true.
there, bro.
There it is.
There you go.
And that's where they come from, folks.
Yes.
That would be fucking awful though. Like that feeling at nighttime when you realize you still have pants on and you can change into the comfy ones. and you're like, oh shit, I wasn't ready for this serotonin overdose.
I'm about to do that.
Go.
I'm about to do that,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Me too. I almost put them on before this.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't is because I double knotted my shoes.
So you don't want to take those off.
Yeah, and like 15 minutes before I realized I could change out of my pants, and I went to go undo it, and I was like, a little too hard. For
Yeah, that's gonna be too much energy exertion.
Because I was like, I want to channel that comfort for the pod.
Yeah,
I want to feel like I'm in my element, but you know,
now we look
semi.
more business attire.
Yeah, exactly.
As I wear Crocs.
Yeah, you would invest in this program with us wearing pants, you know.
Yeah,
but yeah, those are good old person hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
I think that's the move, dude. And of course, just buying a top tier wood burning stove.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that'd be sick. You know, I did the screen printing for a while, and I could see that being fun at some point, like with the right gear and just time.
Yeah.
I did really like the process and the, you know, the control and being able to design something and then have it on a shirt. But, you know, the thing I like a lot, like I said, like, I mean, music is made out of air, so that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And drawing comes from, like, visual art just comes from your imagination. There's not a lot of physical, fucking, you know, destruction of matter.
Yeah.
necessary for that kind of stuff. And I find that very appealing.
Something from nothing is a very cool,
Yeah, exactly.
cool concept.
Oh, that's something that I think would also be really cool to have as a long term. You know how I was talking about if you write a little bit every day, in 10 years, you're like, I think I have a movie. You know?
Yeah.
I think I actually, if I really think about it, I would want to do this one day, is design my own house.
Oh yeah.
Like from scratch.
You did want to do architecture when you were younger.
Yeah. I did a full 4-year capstone architecture program in high school.
So you'd probably be able to pick up a lot of those skills where you left off.
Yeah, I don't know how much of them were really relevant to
really?
house design. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like you learned that much about code. It was more like using a scale to.
Would you have
Kinda.
to use code to design a house?
Or I mean, like building codes.
Yeah.
We sort of did. We had to follow that kind of stuff, but yeah, I think it would just be cool to start designing a house when you're like 30
Yeah.
and just keep designing until you're like 60
Mm-hmm.
and just never really building it until you have like the best iteration,
Yeah.
and then you just get that house made.
Dude, I love schematics like that too.
Yeah.
That'd just be cool to be always altering those schematics.
Yeah, exactly. If anything you can divide into like the tiniest piece and then like just kind of pour over that is sick.
Yeah.
Movies are the same way. It's just different segments of in different, you know, elements.
Yeah. It's
That each one you can fucking be just about that, you know.
songs too, you know, when you get to
Exactly.
different sections. It's fun to think of songs like that where you're like, I haven't gotten to the bridge yet, but this is where it's gonna sound.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm. And then it can be like there's people who just fucking are nerdy as shit about synths
Yeah.
or about guitar sounds or about, you know, a drum sound, or they know every drum machine that's ever existed, or they're just about the music notes themselves. Or there's people who are just about lyrics. And it's like, I know, I've been super interested in all of those things at some point in time.
Yes.
So I like that kind of stuff.
Are you somebody who likes to know a lot about a little or a little about a lot?
Definitely a little about a lot.
Same.
Very, very dilettante-ish.
Yes.
Different though now. I'm sort of changing because I'm like, I can feel that, you know, there's only a certain number of years left to really master one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just kind of reshifting, making sure I don't forget which the top few categories are, you know?
To master, that you want to get mastered
Mhm.
at. Yeah.
Because like every day I'm like, I should start making video content, or every day I'm like, I should start drawing again. And then I remember that there's other things I want to do that take priority over that. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'd get more satisfaction out of deepening that craft even further. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a point where you're making music and you like are leveling up like crazy at the beginning because it's all fresh. And then there's a period where it's like everything is just like really struggle city because you're like, oh, I fucking suck. I don't get it, you know?
Yeah.
And then like on the other side of that, it's even more enjoyable than it ever was because you know it's better. You think like taking apart the magic of it would make it not hit as good.
Mm-hmm.
And for a little bit it does because you're like kind of got a weird taste in your mouth about it. And then you learn to appreciate it even more, you know, because you're like, you just realize it's cool that anybody ever made a song to begin with.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, wow, that's fucking sick, you know?
Yeah, dude.
And you get really into it. And you're like, oh, I know what that is, you know? And that's like, I'm like, okay, well, I could go through those growing pains or I could see how sweet this high can get on this one thing, you know?
Yeah, dude. How fucking hard can I go on
Yeah,
this?
exactly.
That's such a good point because it is.
That's like flow state shit right there.
Yeah. Well, this kind of goes along with what we were saying on the last pod where I'm like, I felt like I was took that screenwriting class and got really into it. And, but you know, I was getting distracted because I was working on like a bunch of songs and I was actually finishing these songs and like doing a really good job at that. And I was kind of beating myself up for a minute. And then I realized that, any high that I get from a song, it'll be cool to finish writing a screenplay. But I know that at the top of my list is just fucking finishing songs and like making these dope tunes.
Yeah.
And
that's why it's like stuck around for you this long, you know?
Yeah.
Already.
That high is so insane to me.
Yeah. You can't beat it.
I don't know what's going to beat that.
Nothing. Like I honestly, the podcast shit is like super satisfying to me.
Yeah.
Because it exercises so many different parts of me and expands, you know, my shit. But it's that same thing in the back of my head. I'm like, the high with making music is just better.
It's so crazy, dude. Once you get to that point, you're like, I feel really solid about this thing I just did.
Yeah.
And it's that period of time before you show it to someone where you're like, this may be the coolest thing or this may be just okay. And then you like have it to yourself and then you show it to someone and they're like, whoa, this is really good. You're like, hell yeah. Yeah, boy. Yeah, when you'll be riding this for 48 hours. Maybe.
Less, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
But still. Yeah, man. But I think we'll end on that. You know, that's a nice little genuine note to end on.
Yeah.
Talking about craft.
The art.
Yeah. Keep it going, you guys. Keep doing what you do. If you're just getting started in something.
Yeah.
Stick with that shit because I genuinely 13-year-old me would be blown away. By me now.
Dude, I was so bad.
We're bad.
I was bad in like 2016.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. I mean, I'm still
bad in a way.
Well, definitely. But
but definitely better than I was in 2019, 2018.
Now I'm more excited about parts of it that I'm bad at. Because I'm like, oh, that's an opportunity to be even better.
Yeah. And I'm just so glad that we weren't good enough when we were to get a pub deal and fucking waste away writing bullshit.
Yeah. You don't want to get into any situation that just destroys your love of it.
No. One thing I will say that I don't know if we've mentioned is you can rate stuff on Spotify now.
Songs?
No, you can rate podcasts on Spotify now.
Oh.
Did you know that?
Are you serious?
On the mobile app, you can do that.
Okay.
So go to the top of Honestly Not Even Worried on Spotify.
Okay. That being said, let's fucking activate the Legion. Anti-cult stands strong. Come in, absorb the fucking lore. Okay?
Yes.
When the sun comes out, if you feel like getting your buns out, when the sun hole makes you want to expose your bun hole, that's how you know you're fucking fam. Okay?
Yeah.
And your bae and your crew and your squad. And you're one of us. You're here to learn. This is the learning boat. We're here to grow and grow only. In our leaderless organization. So fucking review, rate. I don't know if you can review, but rate on Spotify, dude.
You can't review, but you can rate.
Okay, rate on Spotify.
Yes.
I know a lot of you are listening on Spotify, so go ahead and rate us, okay? We're back.
We're back.
We're fucking back with a vengeance. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys liked last week's episode with Fat Bread Bakes. We got some more special guests coming up for you. But till then, ciao.
Bye-bye.
I got nothing to say, yeah, I'm just loving the way you're looking over here. Come over here and tell me your name. I can tell by the sound, yeah, when you open your mouth. I hear my new favorite melody, hey. We should both run away. Why do we